Do you approach your spiritual practice or your manifestation practice with the iron fist of a tyrant or the gentleness of a lover? Today we're going to talk about that. So welcome back to the Force. I'm glad y'all are here with me today. Back at this great book, Neville Goddard's book, and someone told me I might like to start reading The Feeling is the Secret. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about today. And as we go through this book study, let me know what parts you want to talk about. But someone said that. So I've started reading Feeling is the Secret. And I've started reading the first chapter. And that's what we're going to talk about today, the first chapter, because there's so much in here, a lot to dig into today. So I'm going to talk about that. But it is cold out here in Charlotte, so I'll probably talk quickly. It's like freezing here, so literally. So anyway, I hope y'all are doing well. The first part, so chapter 1 is called Law and its Operation. And it's basically talking about how everything works and how Neville Goddard talks about it. And the first quote I wanted to talk about is the one where it says, consciousness generates ideas and impresses these ideas on the subconscious. The subconscious receives the ideas and gives them form and expression to them. And so basically that's that idea of our consciousness, our thoughts. That's where we start. So we start there with our ideas and we use that to impress upon our subconscious mind. So it's kind of like the sower and the soil. Our subconscious is that soil and we want to keep it fertile and we want to grow. So we have the sower and the soil. We're going to sow our thoughts and ideas into that subconscious mind. So I think that's kind of a pretty common belief, pretty common idea. The first stuff we're going to talk about is pretty common, but it may be new to you. So let's talk about that. I want to know, what are you planning? Leave a comment in the comment section. What kind of seeds are you planting today? Are you planting seeds of worry, or are you planting seeds of joy and happiness? And that's what we're going to be talking about. So when it comes to that, the second quote I want to talk about is, of course, our feelings. Feeling is the one and only medium through which ideas are conveyed to the subconscious. So the language the subconscious speaks is our feelings. That's why it's so important to think about what we feel. And that's why when we talk about affirmations or whatever, we want to talk about how we feel. So feeling is the language of the subconscious. That's how we communicate to it. And that's just really important for us to remember. The thing that really struck me about that is the very next sentence, and that's one thing I want to talk about. Control of your feeling is all important to a full and happy life. The very next sentence is, never entertain an undesirable feeling. Now, that's one fun thing about a book study, is we can disagree sometimes if we want to, and we can share our ideas and thoughts. I personally love psychology, and I personally believe it is important to feel your feelings. I don't think that, when it says never entertain an undesirable feeling, well, if you're depressed, you're depressed. If you're worried, you're worried. If you're anxious, you're anxious. And I don't believe in suppressing that stuff. I think you heal that stuff. I think you work with that. And it's only through working through those negative feelings that we can actually get rid of them. I think that's one of the problems people have, is they try to suppress their feelings when they're trying to do these affirmations, make their lives better. And suppressing your feelings doesn't get rid of them. It just makes it harder to deal with them later. And I believe that makes it harder to get the things you want out of life. The third quote I want to talk about, which I think is really important, is where it says, the subconscious is not concerned with the truth or falseness of our feelings. It always accepts as true that which you feel to be true. So the idea here is, true or false, whatever you feel is what the subconscious understands. So it doesn't matter if what you feel is true or false. It just takes what you tell it and runs with it, So think about that, true or false. Whatever you tell it is what it does. Um, One of the next quotes that I really love is, whatever the mind can conceive and feel is true, the subconscious can and must objectify. So I think you maybe have heard that quote before. Whatever the mind of man can conceive, basically the subconscious can objectify, can make happen. So the idea of whether it's true or false, whatever we think to be true is what we're putting out there to the universe, and that is what we're going to get back. I think that's really important. It says the subconscious never fails to express that which has been impressed upon it. So whatever it is that we're putting out there is what the subconscious is going to teach us. It's what it's going to bring into our lives. The fourth quote I want to talk about today that really hit me was a continuation of this idea, but it says, therefore, if you dwell on difficulties, barriers, or delays, the subconscious, by its very non-selective nature, accepts the feeling of difficulties and obstacles as your request and proceeds to produce them in your outer world. And for me, that was hard when I read that. I had a real challenge with it. I wrote I wrote my notes. I wrote, how do you stop that? Like, if I'm having a hard time, how do I stop it? And, like I said before, you just can't stop it. And so if I have these difficulties, these barriers, all this stuff, it's going to be expressed in my outer world. But then it dawned on me, one of the keys there, it says, if you dwell on your difficulties, if you dwell on your difficulties. And I think that's completely different from feeling. It's okay to feel anxious, to feel depressed, to feel down, to feel doubt. But it's when you dwell on those things that it ends up becoming expressed in your outer world. And I think that is 100% correct. So once we heal that kind of stuff, it's a question of whether or not we dwell on it. And I know some people, I have had periods in my life where I've dwelt on the past, or I've dwelt on a bad situation and thought a lot about it. Something that angered me, I can dwell on that anger. Well, that is what will end up manifesting in my world if I continue to do that. So finally, we get to what I think is just absolutely profound. I wrote down here, amazingly profound, because I think this is incredible. He starts talking about how he basically compares it to a husband and a wife. And he talks about how the husband is kind of like the consciousness and the wife is the subconsciousness. Um, and he talks about it. Basically, the idea is how our brain is kind of split into two, and there's this kind of, says the consciousness, or the male aspect, truly is the head. It dominates it. It tells us what to think. And then the subconscious is the female aspect, it says. And then he says, however, this leadership is not that of a tyrant, but of the lover. And that's what really got to me. And it hit me. I was like, you know, when I'm trying to manifest things, when I'm trying to make my life better, when I'm trying to follow these principles in my life, I'm realizing, wait a second, I don't need to be a tyrant. A tyrant would say, oh, don't feel bad. Oh, be positive. Think of the positive thing. Find the gratitude and everything, which I do try to find the gratitude and everything. Um, but that idea of just put a smile on your face and keep going, fake it till you make it. Well, sometimes I think that's hard. And I think when I tell myself that, I'm being a tyrant and not the lover. To me, the lover is completely different. To me, being that lover is being gentle with myself, understanding when I'm struggling, when I'm having a hard time, when things are bad. And I think that's what's important, is leading with the lover. So I want to ask you, how do you do that in your life when you think about these principles and and practicing this in your life. Do you feel like you're more of a tyrant when it comes to this kind of stuff, or are you more the lover? Do you lead with the lover? And so I think that's what I want to focus on this week, and I hope you all will join me in focusing on that. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this stuff and whether or not you practice these types of things, how you interpret this information. Let me know what you also want to study next, because I think that's important. It helps me a lot. Please like and subscribe. It lets YouTube know who to send this information out to. Um, it really helps me a lot and helps my channel. And I hope that y'all are having a great week. Leave a comment and let me know how you all are doing. Please stay grateful. Please stay kind. And as always, I'm grateful for each and every one of you. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.